Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Stardom. This show is a little late, and that's my fault. So if there's anybody to blame, it's 100% me. My brother-in-law Jason's here with me, but my guests that are really here is the Beer Soap Company. We got Matt and Rick. Matt and Rick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right.
It's been a long day. But I'm good. I went straight from work to, hey, get home so we can go get to the car dealership and get this car. I was like, oh, all right, let's go. So tell everybody a little bit about your guys' background, how you got into the soap business.
my background is in graphic design and advertising.
Mhm.
So I did that for about 15 years, maybe a little bit longer. Was looking for a new career path. And rather than like search for traditional careers, I made a list of different things that I found interesting rather than looking at jobs. So I made a list of things that were fun or interesting or made me happy or whatever. And on those lists were travel is one of the things we like to do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we like to do when we travel was always to go to like local craft good stores, handmade type stuff, or things that were just made locally.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea became that I wanted to open that kind of a store in Kansas City. That was becoming a thing about the same time. This is about 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of thinking that could be something that I felt like I could do right off the bat without going back to school or anything like that. So I had zero retail experience, and I'm getting to the Bear Soap thing. This comes right before Bear Soap. This is how it led into Bear Soap.
Okay.
So then came up with a concept for the store. The store is called Midcoast Modern, and it's a gift store, and it's in Westport. One of the ways that we found products to carry in the store was through Rick, and his previous job entailed a lot of travel. Mm-hmm. So when he would go to cities like New York or Pennsylvania or whatever, all those cities were going to have the same kind of store. So I would help look up different store locations and things like that. And on his free time, he would pop in the stores, see what kind of stuff they sold, see if there was anything that looked like it would be a good fit for our store. Because at the time, the only way to find products like this that weren't mass produced was Etsy. And so to try to figure out what you're going to carry at the store was a lot of work. And that was one way to do it and just discover new stuff that wasn't specifically local. And the other thing that we like to do was to check it out. You just buy a sample of one thing, bring it back, have a look, contact the brand, see what their pricing was and everything. And one of the items that was picked up was a do-it-yourself soap kit.
Oh,
it came in a bag that was like a lunch sack, just a paper bag and everything. Mm-hmm. And it made 4 bars of soap. So we were just originally, he bought a sample of that, brought it back, and we were going to maybe carry it, maybe not. I don't know.
We're going to carry just the kits.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And then Rick decided to actually make the kit, like use the kit and make the soap. And then you can
then we realized that wasn't difficult. So we decided, to go another avenue. One of the issues that we had with the Midcoast Modern concept is that we only had 2 types of people that we sold for: people on consignment and people that sold to us wholesale. So there was always a middle person. So we were always looking for something that we could do, that we would be a maker, an artist, and this actually gave us that avenue. Then we decided, since it wasn't that difficult, we had a little party at the house with friends and family. We didn't know which scents to choose from, so we made about 10 batches, maybe 8 batches, I don't remember. And we didn't tell anybody what the scents were, and we just put numbers on them. And then we had all of our guests to select, tell us your top 3. And that's how we came up with our first 4 fragrances.
So did the kit come with like generic oils, or did you guys pick your own oils to make the soaps?
it came with its own everything you needed to make the soaps.
Yeah, there's only one fragrance it came with.
So a little backstory there. Rick skipped a little bit. So he made those soaps, and we just had them sitting around in our kitchen, just on the table for I don't know how long. But we had a couple friends come over to hang out, and they have a candle company called Pickwick and Company. And we showed them the soaps that we made, not with the intention of starting a business, but just like, check out these soaps, just a casual conversation piece. And they had, when they originally started their business, they also were making soap, but they decided just to go forward with candles and just abandon the soap idea.
Okay.
And so they offered to give us their whatever molds and little bit of oils and things like that they had, because they weren't doing anything with them. And we decided to take it, but not necessarily with the intent of starting a business. It was just like, somebody's going to give you something free. Okay, I'll take that. And then the first year of the store, Midcoast Modern, was very slow. And since my background was branding and marketing and stuff like that, I thought about coming up with a brand to do the soap just for something to do. There was no grand plan ever. This was just kind of a time filler. And we discussed different names, and another friend of mine that's a graphic designer that I worked with before named Adam, I was kind of throwing the idea around with him. And since Rick and I are bears, he thought it would be funny just to call it bear soap.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a bear was. Like, I didn't know the term at all until I met Rick.
Well, there's a couple of things that it works for, though, is we wanted to do things that were more natural and organic and stuff. And this was I feel like this was kind of just starting to take off back then, as far as handmade and people try to get to be less chemical based and everything like that. And so to me, bear as an animal kind of represented nature and, getting stuff from nature. And that was kind of one angle of it that kind of worked. And then the other was just the bear, look that you're talking about.
Yeah.
What's the name bear soap was, it rolls off the tongue easy. It's simple. It's easy to remember. And now there's about 6 different soap companies with bear in the name.
Now, really can other people take that same name after you? Well,
it's like they'll have names like Bearsville or Bear or something with, ours is trademarked, but it's just the one word.
Yeah. Now it is kind of crazy how because it's definitely blown up over the last few years.
Yeah.
Pardon me, with beard oils, and I mean, it's such a broad range of stuff now.
Yep.
Yeah, we started with just soap, and then we noticed that people were starting to get into it at our store and purchasing more. And then I was just trying to brainstorm, what can we do next? Let's add more products to the line. And the most obvious one was just to do bath bombs, because everybody knows what a bath bomb is. Rick volunteered to try out the bath bombs.
Yeah, I was on a road trip, a 9-day road trip with my last company. So that meant I was going to be gone for a weekend, of course. And so they gave me a really nice SUV, so I had plenty of room and to carry all the ingredients needed to make a bath bomb. And I don't know if you guys know what's in a bath bomb, but the 4 dry ingredients are Epsom salt, citric acid, cornstarch, and baking soda. If you guys looked at those 4 things, the most common things about those, besides that they're dry, is that they're all white powders. So carrying all these white powders into a hotel room during Breaking Bad series didn't really go too well. Yeah. So, I went to the Martha Stewart website. She taught me how to make a bath bomb. And so that's how we started making other things besides soaps. Bath bombs, they never really sold that well, but it was something else that we could make. A lot of people didn't really take baths, but people take showers.
Yeah.
About a year later, so this is now about 5 years ago, we had a customer come in and ask if we had a shower bomb or a shower steamer. And I looked at her like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And she walked away, and I Googled it. It's the same thing as a bath bomb. Same ingredients minus the Epsom salt because you're not going to soak in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just set it on the shower floor and let the water splash on it, and it'll fizz like a bath bomb, and all of the essential oils will come up with the steam and give you like an aromatherapy shower. And this is probably the second most popular item we have now, outside of soap. So,
It sounds awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, and you also have the toilet. You have toilet bombs now too, correct?
Yeah, toilet bombs are like a miniature shower steamer.
Yeah. And do those actually clean your toilet? Is that correct?
they help keep it clean
Okay.
because as for those who have cleaned toilets before, the most common areas around where the water ring is, and the same ingredients as shower steamer. So it's got baking soda and citric acid, and when you add water to those two ingredients, that's what fizzes.
Mhm.
So when you drop it into the toilet, it'll fizz around that ring, so it'll help keep it clean.
Baking soda is a natural cleanser. It's not just going to clean it without scrubbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So I did look up a little bit in the background about the bath bombs. Did you know that Mo Constantine actually is the original developer of bath bombs?
Don't know who that is, but no.
I didn't either. But in 1989, she went to her garden shed to blend some baking soda and citric acid to make a fizzy effect, and because she was allergic to most bubble bath stuff, that's how it actually became a thing.
Wow.
She works for the Lush company, Lush
Really?
Cosmetics. Yeah.
oh,
So that was 1989. They haven't been around that long.
That's
it's
weird.
kind of weird that I've never even thought about the origin of it. You're so used to it being there, I never thought about. I don't know.
Yeah, and we tried a lot of things with our bath bombs. We try to put other things in there to make it pretty. We'll put lavender seeds in there, maybe flower petals and stuff, and those things don't dissolve. So a couple things with that, you got to clean your bathtub afterward. And two, if you're taking a bath, and I've done this with those bath bombs, the lavender seeds will float to the top, and they'll look like water bugs, and they'll come to you. So
That's
didn't feel that comfortable. So
We
I've
just
seen-
put them down.
I've seen the glitter bombs too, like the ones. I'm like, why would you want to get that in your tub?
yeah,
It's just it's a eye-catching thing on the shelf, and they probably buy them once.
Mm-hmm.
So especially you get kids and stuff that just anything that looks glittery or whatever, it attracts your attention.
yeah.
So they probably sell better, but they probably don't have repeat sales.
Right.
Yeah, one of the things I also discovered online, and we incorporated in our bath bombs, you just mentioned kids. We have these. Have you ever seen these little capsules? Looks like a pill, and when you put it in water, it expands to a car or an animal.
Animals, yeah.
Yeah, we put these are the kid bath bombs, and so we put them in the center of the bath bomb, and so that's a real popular bath bomb amongst kids and mothers.
So is it just the extra? So it's the main four ingredients: the oils and the coloring and all that is just whatever you want. You can blend whatever essential oils you want.
Yeah. We tend to stick with essential oils with bath bombs, just because it's part of the experience whenever you're soaking in it.
Yeah.
We do use fragrance oils in a lot of the soaps. It's just kind of a different purpose. So originally we were going to do only essential oils in all the products, but there's only so many essential oils you can buy. So you just end up with the same fragrance combinations as so many other soaps.
Yeah.
And it gets a little bit boring.
Have you thought about making your own?
I don't know how to make my own. I mean, the distilling and all that stuff it's quite a process. I think you really have to have some chemistry background.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it at all. You're probably right. I imagine it takes a lot of work for oils.
Yeah, there's some pretty expensive ones out there.
Mm-hmm. So I did find some interesting bath bombs that I would never buy, but I thought they were interesting. The first one is tub of ketchup bath bomb. It says dip yourself. For bathing, only dudes, not edibles.
That's funny.
Patrick Mahomes might like that one. He likes ketchup.
Oh yeah. Can you guess what the fragrance is?
Tomatoes,
Black cherry.
black cherry. Ew.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed that. That sounds absolutely terrible. There's a toaster bath bomb. It says a bath bomb to die for.
Yeah. Put the toaster in the bathtub. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some other like electrical item ones, like blow dryers and just some funny ones. That one is a citrus, strawberry, and cinnamon.
Mm.
Interesting blend. I don't know. Like I said, I probably wouldn't
Doesn't
try
sound right
it.
to me.
Okay, the last bomb I got is my shit don't stink bath bomb. It says this bath bomb has a pink inside and smells like a plethora of wonderful flowers, which kind of concerns me because there's some flowers that probably wouldn't smell too good together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says when the day's long and you know you need to be lifted away from all the shit in the world, just toss this turd into the tub and relax.
Yeah, we do bath bomb classes too.
You've done videos too, right, Rick?
Yeah, I've done videos. We're working with another company in KC where we'll do some bath bomb classes probably once a month. And it's a lot of fun. And what's great about it in our store anyway, you know, we have about 20 different oils, whether it's essential or man-made. And so the people that come in to make the bath bombs, they get to choose whatever fragrances they want. We give them, you know, suggestions because sometimes things really won't go well together. But so, you know, and we do hide our $120 bottle of bergamot because we don't want them to use that one.
How big is that? That can't be very big either.
15 ounces.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's ridiculous.
So we hide that one. But yeah, so you know they get to make their own bath bombs, and the bath bomb classes are a blast. It's an hour long.
And how much does that cost?
$25.
Oh,
And they carry back 4 bath bombs with them, so it's almost the same price as they bought 4 in the store.
That's
great.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's more about the experience. We've had one that was kind of funny. If I told you, Dylan, but about a year ago now, we had a birthday party of 5-year-olds. I should have gotten combat pay first, but there are 5 of them, and Margot was the birthday girl. And after
Maybe you shouldn't say names.
I didn't say last. After the bath bombs is now the birthday party time. So the mom had gifts for everybody, of course, because the 5-year-olds, they all have to get a gift. And so they all had, this is obviously right in the center of COVID. So they all had masks on, everybody sitting in their chair. Everybody had a cupcake, not a slice of cake, a cupcake on their laps, except for M. She had a candle in hers. And so mom lit the candle. And the first funny thing was, M bent over to blow it out with her mask on. Obviously she couldn't do it. The mom ran over there and took the mask off. And then she bent over to blow out the flame, and the flame caught her hair on fire.
Oh man.
It was the best class ever.
You didn't get hurt, by the way. It was out in 2 seconds, but
but still.
friends were screaming and talking about how it smells. It smells like burning hair.
Yeah, even 10 minutes later, I can still smell her hair. Yeah.
There was back in my early, like I don't even know if I was 21 yet. We were at this apartment party and they were doing flaming shots of Everclear. Ooh. And one of them did not put it out and take the drink, and she spit it back out and it ricocheted off the shot glass. So her face went up. She dropped the shot glass. The carpet lit on fire. And then she ran to the sink to put it out, but somebody was using the extension hose from the sink, so the sink wasn't working. So she ended up having to run to the bathroom and dunk her head in the toilet.
That's good.
She ended up with some scarring, but it wasn't like. She laughed about it later on. That's the only reason why I'm telling you.
Was she shit faced later? Just kidding.
I'm sure she was back to drinking the next week, so who knows? So how many do you only have one store? Or thought you had more than one store?
We have 2 retail stores. So one of them is Midcoast Modern, which is a gift store, and 2 doors down from that is Soap Bar, which the Bath and Body store. That's where our production facility is.
Okay.
And then we have a couple of satellite locations. They're inside Made in KC Marketplace on the Plaza and Made in KC Marketplace in Lenexa. So those are places where we actually have we rent our own booth space, so it's branded like our store.
Okay, so you just rent a spot in the store basically for your product.
Every brand in the store does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You design it to look like your own little branded space.
So part of this has almost gone full circle. Like I mentioned earlier, the main way or the only ways for us to carry products in our first store was through wholesale or consignment, and now we're a wholesaler. So now we wholesale, and we're not only locally, but we also we're all over the country, including California, Montana, and other states. So
that's really cool. You guys have and you started in 15, so it really hasn't been that long.
No,
we started the first couple of years doing a lot of pop-up events here in Kansas City. There's a lot of craft events that take place in like full events where there's up to 100, 150 other makers, and then there's small ones where you can pop up in someone else's store on a first Friday. I mean, we've done everything from salons to stores to we travel to other cities and do events. Been to Denver, Dallas several times, Colorado, Florida, California to do pop-up events with Bear Soap.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
One of the events that we go to every year, except for the last 2 years, of course, is in Dallas, and it's called TBRU, which means Texas Bear Roundup. So it's bears.
Yeah.
And there's thousands it's the biggest bear event in the nation, and there's thousands and thousands of people, and they all stay at the Regency in Dallas, where that big blue ball is. And we have our own booth there, and that event, when we sell there, it pays for the whole trip, all of our little vacation, and then some. And so it's kind of a fun event too.
That's cool. That's awesome, because I never thought that my show would even get to the point where it is now. But I'm guessing when you guys started this, you didn't know where it was going to end up.
No clue. We were, even in some of these bear events, for example, we would meet other friends in a hotel room, and I'm talking where 20 of them would show up. We'd all buy a bottle of whiskey or whatever, and we just bring soap with us to see who might be interested. So we even did it in those kind of things. I mean, that's how small it was in the very beginning.
So do you do shape bombs or no? You go, some stores have the shapes and stuff.
Just round so far. I mean, it would have been a good idea to do heart-shaped ones for Valentine's, but we just didn't plan it in advance enough. That'll be something in the future.
I imagine it takes a little extra time to shape them, right?
It's actually, what's great about it, like the shower steamers, for example, the original shape of that was a half of a bath bomb. So it's a half circle.
Yeah.
And it took off so fast that we could not keep up with demand, which is a good, bad thing. And so we got a hold of a manufacturer that built molds. And so now we have ours that are shaped of a hockey puck kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And we can do 16 at a time now. So that's it's a lot better, a lot easier, a lot quicker, and more consistent with the product at the end.
Do you use molds?
Yeah. And then that's what happened with the toilet bombs. I know it's funny to say that the toilet bombs were an accident. But they, whenever we made bath bombs or shower steamers or shower bombs, when we cleaned up our area with all the remnants, we would, just dust it into a dustpan and flush it down the toilet because it's safe, for the toilet. We noticed two things. We noticed that the toilet rarely needed to be cleaned, and the bathroom always smelled good. So I talked to the same manufacturer who built that first mold for us because there was an interest for a smaller shower steamer because the ones we make now last 3 days. So if my old job, I have a lot of employees that travel from a hotel to hotel and they don't want to waste it. So they asked for smaller ones. So I got another mold design for a smaller shower steamer, which is this. It's like a marshmallow. And but that's too small. That's too small for a shower steamer. So then I started thinking, maybe I'll go this route. And so Matt was like, go for it. So I did started making these toilet bombs, and it's got twice to almost 3 times as much fragrance oil as a shower steamer. So it really, in case you really blow up a toilet, it helps cover the smell.
And how many come in a pack? Because I go several times a day.
You'll have to 14, and you'll just have to use them when it's a really bad one. So you don't.
Oh yeah. I just use it
when other people are in the building.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we Matt, when he was going through the original concept of Midcoast Modern, he had went to this like a class. I'll go explain that class thing you did with Kaufman.
Yeah, so I had zero business experience, but I've always kind of had these entrepreneurial projects that I've done since I was a teenager. And to start the business, I thought it would be wise to at least learn something. I'd never even worked in retail. So I found this class that UMKC puts on called Fast Track. And it's basically a 6 or 8 week class. I can't recall, but it's a beginner's business class basically. And because I was unemployed at the time, it was free. So it's a really economical price thing, even if you do have to pay for it. One of the ironies about that was I designed the logo in the textbook for the class at one of my previous jobs. So that's how I knew about it. And I thought, oh, wow, I should look this up because I already knew about the program. So I took that. That was about an 8 week class. It was pretty beneficial. And it taught me a lot of different things about starting a small business, things to consider that I didn't have any idea about. So that was one of the ways that I got started. I did that before we actually opened Midcoast Modern. And then to get back to Bear Soap, once we opened up, once we got past the bath bombs, one of the things that we wanted to also start getting into was beard products, like you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
We had some other locals in Kansas City that were doing beard products at the time called KC Beard Company. And we were becoming friends with them. And rather than compete with them, they already had a good brand name, brand recognition. They had a lot of customers. People liked their product. We decided to collaborate with them and have custom scent made by them for us that we would label with our own brand stickers. So we did a beard balm and a beard oil with them. And we did that for a couple of years. And then Kansas City Beard Company decided to stop business. So they dissolved the business. And so I decided to go ahead and just do it myself. It wasn't that we couldn't have done that to begin with. We just didn't want to tread on a friend's zone. I mean, that's
the right way to do it. Yeah.
So since they were gone, I just decided to go ahead and make it myself. So we went from just having 1 scent of beard oil and balm to 3 now. But that's what we have at the moment. It's basically the same recipe that they used. So
yeah, and is I looked on your website. They're actually fair priced. They're not super expensive. I like that.
Yeah, we were trying to kind of go in between. I mean, it's a little bit on the higher end now that there's so many brands at Target and CVS. And everybody makes these cheap ones. But as far as handmade ones, it's reasonably priced.
So the balms are handmade too?
Yeah.
Wow.
By him.
Yeah, the bombs, and then we also have a solid cologne, which is basically the same thing as the beard balm, only less wax. So it's a little bit easier to apply.
I've never even heard of a solid cologne.
This is a 10.
How long would that last?
It's like any other cologne.
It just depends on how much you use. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
use the back of your nail and just rub it on your whatever part of the body you want.
you rub it off, and then you liquefy it in your fingers, and then you just put it wherever you.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
So the advantage is it's like a perfume. It's not going to spill. You can carry it in your pocket if you wanted to freshen up or whatever throughout the day, because any smell is going to dissipate over time. But it's $14, super cheap.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more fragrance than the beard bombs, because you don't really want a ton of fragrance right on your face.
Right.
So
And to go from like, if you, I know you might be heading this way, I don't know, Dylan, but we started with soap, but now we've got the bath bombs, the shower steamers, the toilet bombs, the solid colognes, the beard bombs, the beard oils, shampoo bars, bath salts. I mean,
shave butter.
So we've expanded our product line, pretty successfully in the last 5 years. We try to come on, and we have a lot more. Like Matt wants to come up with a face bar soon, and we're talking about doing a sugar scrub and some other things, but they take time.
Of course,
yeah, and and Matt, because of his background in graphic arts, I don't want to say he's anal, but he is very specific with making sure the font is exact, making sure that everything's lined up. If you've noticed on the website that everything looks consistent.
Yes, definitely.
For him, because that's his, because not trying to downplay our products, but when you take off the wrapper from the soap, it's a bar soap now. It's just a bar soap, So, our goal is to make it appealing to people when they come into the store. So, and that's it. That's where he's successful.
So presentation, marketing, branding.
100%.
Yeah, branding is super important.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting. Do you know the history of soap, like where the legend is that it started?
Hopefully England. I don't know.
Apparently, Mount Sapo in Rome. Apparently, when they would do sacrifices on the mountaintop, the ashes from the wood and the animal fat would flow into the river, and they would use it to wash their clothes and stuff. And that's how the idea of soap started. I did not know that before I was planning on having you guys on.
The only animal fat we use is goat's milk.
Uh-huh.
In the body soaps, but nothing else. There's some oils and things like that.
I know that goat's milk is like a very popular thing right now. Is there a reason why? Is there something about goat's milk that is so popular, or do you know?
It's just a good moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like the whole bar is made of goat's milk. It's just one of the additives.
Yeah.
So when people say like goat's milk or shea butter or whatever, the base of the soaps, almost every soap is the same. Mm-hmm. Then you add a couple of extra things to make it a certain way, whether it's usually a conditioner. Mm-hmm. So like shea butter is a conditioner, mango butter is a conditioner, goat's milk is a conditioner. So because without anything like that, soap is going to dry your skin out a little bit.
Yeah.
The nature of it. So this is kind of a way to combat that.
How many scents do you guys have for your soaps right now, or fragrances for your soaps?
I think there's 13.
Oh,
we have a new visitor here.
That's fine. I've got so many animals upstairs running around right now. It's ridiculous. Luckily, this Michael tuned all that out. So I did find a couple soaps along with the beard bombs that had some pretty interesting names. So since we're on the soaps right now, let's go ahead and read them out. One of them's It's Only Freaking Tuesday soap. Smells like slowly dying. Spearmint scent. I don't think I would want a spearmint scent first off, or a soap. Do you guys do a spearmint one?
We don't do. We have spearmint as in addition to other scents.
Yeah.
Not specifically like we have an orange mint. And spearmint's very potent, so it's just a few drops.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like
It just kind of
spearmint gum.
enhances it a little bit.
Never been a fan of spearmint gum either.
And one of our soaps, Dylan, that
Mm-hmm.
we've carried from the beginning, and it's sort of you probably would not get it, and nothing personal.
No, bring it on.
Well, it's all of our soaps have a fragrance, and the one that we have that I'm talking about is called Leather Bar. So
Yeah.
as I'm saying, in the gay world, leather's
Leather
popular,
bars.
but there's leather bars,
Okay.
and so it smells. And this fragrance actually was from that same candle maker that we talked about earlier that helped us in the beginning.
Mhm.
And I kid you not, it's like if you played, high school baseball or little league baseball, and you're bored out in the field, and you put the glove on your face like this.
Yes.
It smells just like that. So it's very reminiscent. So, but it's called Leather Bar because it's sort of as a joke. Because
Yeah. Is it a pretty popular seller?
It is with the gays.
I'm sure if I came home with it, my wife would know what it meant, and she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
It smells really good though.
It does smell good.
I think it's a weird thing. It's an unusual scent, so
Yeah.
people kind of
They gravitate to it because they're not used to that, and obviously it's a fragrance oil because we're not going to squeeze a cow.
I like I've kind of always liked sandalwood and like that musk. There's like weird blends that you can find that actually don't smell too bad at all.
Yeah, our soap called Morningwood. Has,
you have a Morningwood one?
yeah,
That's good. I like that.
And
it has sandalwood in it.
yeah, and whenever people look at that one in the store, Matt says,
Everyone loves our Morningwood. It's our top selling scent. I mean, there's a few stores that won't buy it wholesale because they're worried about the name, and I'm like, it's not offensive. I mean,
it's not. Yeah.
Well,
you guys are also playing into who you are. You're using it in your company. Like it's.
But everybody thinks that's funny. I mean, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with
being gay.
You have to be a man or gay or whatever. It's just funny. All women love it, and they think it's fun. Yeah.
I do have to say, one of the funny things, Dylan, that has happened, I can't tell you how many times, is because most of our shoppers are women. And they'll come in and they'll go, Bear, oh my, that's my husband's nickname. And Matt and are like, you got a picture?
So ultimately, a bear is about a look of a man. It doesn't really have anything to do with being your sexuality.
Right.
It's just a look. Mm-hmm. It's just that there's people that are just into certain looks. So, I mean, anybody can be a bear. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with what your sexual attraction is.
Did you go through our ads as well? I think I may have showed you some of the ads, Dylan.
You showed me some when we first kind of started talking about
because we have all of our picture ads. All except one. We objectify men instead of women.
Yes, I know.
That's another thing that Matt has done that is totally unique and has and it's so much fun because people love it, and I gotta tell you, 9 out of 10 women love it as well because they're ready for that instead of just having women
of course.
So.
Well, it's also middle-aged men that tend to be 40 and up, not all, but in general, and chunky.
Are these mostly these like friends of yours, or do you hire people to do?
Most of them.
Either people that we know or influencers.
Yeah, we get some that come to us and they have like thousands and 10,000 followers,
like 60, 70,000 people
on Instagram. We're like,
come on.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of how I've gotten lately with my show is because I don't want specific things, businesses, celebrities. It don't matter. I want to have you on, and I'm starting to get people on that have larger followings, whether it be TikTok or Instagram, and it's like those little bursts of followers that I get off of those people,
Right.
So it's neat, It's definitely been growing, especially over the last couple months. You got a very talkative cat, Rick.
I know.
No, they're really talkative at 5:30 in the morning.
How many do you have?
2.
Yeah. We've got 3 cats and 3 dogs. All in the house. Well, one's not in the house.
No thanks. Kids. How many kids you got?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I guess if you want to put it that way, I got 5 animals in the house. Well, let's see here. So what's your plans from here? Like, are you guys planning on opening more stuff or just focusing on more products? Or, it sounds like you guys, you've been telling me about your online ordering has kind of been blowing up too. So,
yeah, I think because we opened up the 2 satellite locations this year or last year, we're going to focus on those and focus on probably a few new products this year. And just honing in on things that we already have, try to get a little bit more online purchasing, maybe a few more wholesale accounts. That was kind of neglected a little bit last year because we got busier than expected with the Made in KC stuff. Just keeping up with it. We had a really good holiday season, and so we were a little unprepared staffing wise. So we didn't focus on anything new. We just wanted to keep up and keep the shelves stocked.
Yeah.
First quarter of the year, it's always slower. So we're going to
now you talked about staffing too. So do you guys have like your own staff? You have several people that work for you?
We have 5 people between the 2 stores. Everybody contributes to Bear Soap Company too. But primarily they're hired to work in the stores. Front of store.
And you do all of you make all the product in one location though, right? Is that what you were saying earlier? Yeah.
And I got to tell you, one of the things that we really are proud about is whenever someone comes into this, and we didn't know this was a selling point until we did it one time. When someone comes in the store, and the first thing you notice is the fragrance, because it can be overpowering, but in a good way. It's like it smells so good. And, if it's their first time in, I'll say, hey, have you seen our production area? And they're like, no, really? Can they go back there? And so we show them where we make things, and 99 out of 100 times it's a sale because oh my God, we know the artist, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay what we've done, but it means a lot to us too. And it means a lot to them that they know this, you can't get more local than that.
No, exactly.
So
and you're kind of befriending your customers, showing them all that.
Yeah,
I'd buy immediately.
yeah.
Retail has been a little bit, brick and mortar has been suffering a little bit. So any kind of customer experience that you can provide helps them remember your shop. They appreciate it. It's just more interesting.
Now, I feel like you guys have such a distinct business. So did COVID affect that at all? I'm just curious.
Yes.
It did. And, we had to shut down for several months like every business locally did.
But could you have made the product from home, or do you need certain?
Oh, no, we still went in and made products.
Oh, okay.
We could go in, but we just couldn't open the doors to the public.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I would say the biggest way that the pandemic has affected us is with lack of tourism. So we're in Westport, which is a common area for tourists to visit. And we used to get a lot of tourist activity. And one of the bonuses of that is they tend to buy things because this is their one and only visit potentially. So they'll purchase something, whereas some local people might come in and just say, this is kind of cool. I'll come back. I'll check it out later. Missing that tourism for the last 2 years has been a big hit.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stores in Westport closed in the last 2 years. So we've got a lot of empty spaces. So it just doesn't look as appealing when people are driving down the street or whatever. There's not as many things to walk and look at. There's only a couple of things open. So people may not bother, stopping and walking around. So that's been a big hit.
Yeah. I know that they're starting to do more outside events, like they're starting to open back up now too. Are you guys going to start doing more pop-up things or?
Yeah, this year we plan to do more events. We didn't do any we did one last year. Typically we do probably about 6 or 7.
Yeah, and we actually, I mean, it's a pain in the asses to set it up and break it down, or even prepare the products for it. But it's a lot of fun once you're there, because the people are there for that reason. So the shoppers are already, they're already going to be buying stuff. Whether it's from us or not, it's already a captive audience. So.
Right, and there's one. I know there's one thing we haven't touched on is your merch. I know you got some merch too. I see you wearing some.
Oh, yeah, Matt makes a different. Well, he has this is a design that he came up with, and we've had 4 or 5 different colors of the T-shirts, and he's coming up with another one soon. And we got to have it before we go to Dallas.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of Bear Soap Company merch, but at Midcoast Modern, there's quite a few different shirts and glassware and stuff like that I've designed. Some of it's kind of more Midwest themed.
You probably
can't see it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah. You can kind of see it.
We both happen to be.
I can kind of see it.
Anyway, so as far as Bear Soap, we've had hats and T-shirts, but we don't have hats anymore. So there'll be some new T-shirts soon. That's about it.
I mean, it seems like focusing on that, like a lot of the online ordering and stuff like that, is kind of your big thing right now.
So. Yeah,
and COVID kind of helped with that too. I mean, you think about it. What was one of the things that people had to do is wash their hands.
Yeah.
So soap was real popular, and a lot of news was made about stay away from Amazon, stay away from Costco, and all that. All the big places, and but support local. They really need you right now, and they've said that every year that we've been open. But I got to tell you, the past couple of years, they've done it even more so, because I think people have realized. Because even like Matt said, store next to us is closed. The restaurant next to us closed. Another one around the corner closed. Another one on the other side of the street, a block down, closed. So yeah.
Has your marketing mostly been through friends, word of mouth, social media, stuff like that?
It's all the marketing is social media. We've had a bit of TV exposure. Pretty much every year, there's a local news station will come in and do a piece around Christmas time. So that's been nice. We've had pretty good luck with local publicity without having to try a lot. They kind of come to us.
Yeah, the toilet bomb was the funny one, because going back to where where Matt went to where he got some training, they have their own website or internet site, and they did a local newspaper article about toilet bombs, and that when it went on when it got posted, 60 how many orders were that one day? There were 60 orders.
Wow.
For toilet bombs, and we're like, we don't have that many.
Yeah.
Rick, you got to go make them, because I'm the one that makes them.
Now, do you go through a shipping company, or do you personally take them to UPS and ship them out, or
They're all through USPS. I
USPS.
Come again. Matt does a lot of the stuff.
Well, you work another job as well too, so I mean, it's not.
Yeah, Matt. He works probably 60 hours a week, if not more, even during the slow season.
Been there.
Balancing the books, whether it's ordering new products, whether it's shipping, orders. And it's not that he doesn't trust anybody with it. He just does it, and we don't have enough manpower to do it. So
yeah. Numbers have always been my weak spot. I'm not great with numbers. Yeah. If I'm sitting in front of a screen and I see a bunch of numbers, I'm just like, no.
Yeah, that part is not my forte at all. It's a bit of a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I'm guessing all the software and everything is all you, right? I mean, you don't have a company helping you with your numbers or anything.
Well, I mean, QuickBooks. We use QuickBooks. Square has a lot of great software.
Do you have to create your own like equations and stuff like that for like spreadsheets to do your numbers?
QuickBooks does a lot of that for you, and Square does a lot of that. But you still have to understand them. I mean, you got to understand profit and loss and balance sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, that helps to take classes on that kind of stuff too. But it doesn't necessarily sink in until you actually do it.
Well,
you can learn about it, and it's different.
It's so crazy, like the background story, because I know like Rick told me a little bit about his background too. You guys soap was never like initially an idea ever, and then it just happened.
Right.
No, that was just kind of a lucky accident in a way.
Well, and I think everybody has had an experience in their life where something's pushing you in a direction, and you may ignore it, or just the opposite, you may push it back and say no, and then we're like, okay, sure, we'll give it a shot, and then wham, it's been really, and it's fun too, at least for me. I know he makes more of the soap than I do, so he may not have fun anymore. But it's when I made my first thing and sold it, I don't want to say I cried, but I felt like crying because someone paid for something that I personally made.
Yeah.
That gives you a little bit of pride,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still humbling even after 6 years whenever people buy anything like at the store, because I appreciate it. And I think customers, especially whenever they're meeting the owners of the store, they can sense that. So I think it helps with the experience as well.
Yeah,
because it's authentic. Because I'm just humbled to be able to do this. It's weird.
Is your store themed? Like, do you have like a certain theme to your store when you walk in that stands out, or is it pretty like the
both of the stores have their own brand. Midcoast Modern. The name comes from the fact that we're right in the heartland in between the East and West Coast. So we're the mid coast. So it's kind of just a play on that theme. For before the internet, all the trends, well, it still happens, but all the trends would tend to come from the East or West Coast and take 5 or 6 years to get to the Midwest.
Yeah.
And I feel like, at least in the last 10 years, the Midwest has kind of come up with its own identity a little bit. So it's kind of developing its own thing. So it's kind of the mid coast instead of, waiting to find out what's cool in California or the East Coast or whatever.
And we've bought things. We've tried to sell things. We've bought through wholesale that just Kansas City hadn't caught up to yet. Like Aaron Draplin or Draplin Designs, based out of Seattle. Got a great concept, great clothing line. Nope, Kansas City wasn't ready for it. So it's okay. However, like in our first year or two, that's when the Royals, won the World Series, and so that just local anything kind of blew up. So that so when they do good, we do good. When Chiefs do good, we do good.
Do you when the teams are doing good, do you guys do any soaps specifically towards that? Oh, nice.
Yeah, Matt has one. It's called Touchdown, and it's the same colors as the Chiefs uniform. So,
now do you do that with the bath bombs and the soaps?
No, just the soaps. Yeah,
it can come off a little hokey, I think. So we kind of want to do it in a casual way.
Yeah.
We don't want to. We just don't do too much of that kind of stuff. We just want to kind of keep consistent with it. But as far as one of the things I was going to mention is part of this success, I think, is just paying attention to opportunities. Kind of where Rick was going with that.
Yeah,
is just notice when something is an opportunity and kind of push towards that direction. And you have to be able to, especially with the gift store, it's a lot of experimenting and just kind of curating things that seem cool to me personally, and they may or may not be cool enough to make money off of it.
Yeah.
So to be able to let go of stuff that, like different categories that I try and carry and they don't work out, just be able to let go of that, pay attention to what's selling and kind of go that direction.
And yeah, just the opposite too, like things you would never have in our home. Unicorns, shit like that, like moths or butterflies, whatever.
Yeah. I'll try to find things that I feel like are going to resonate with a popular crowd, but also stylistically something that I like enough. I may not personally want to have it in the house, but I can appreciate the design or
what. And like unicorns and sloths and llamas, they all seem to be like trending right now.
Right.
Yeah, they have, but there's a way that they can be done that's pretty cool, and there's a way that looks hideous.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can carry them as long as the design is what I would consider decent. So because the Midcoast itself has an aesthetic, so I want to make everything has to fit into the aesthetic of the store. So I'm not just going to carry anything with a cat on it. It has to be a specific style that I feel like fits into the store.
Yeah, of course.
And that's another job that Matt has. He's the procurement guy. He procures every single thing in both stores. So that takes a lot of thought and process as well. So
that's probably the funnest part of all of it.
The creativity part, like just coming up with
the
ideas.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of anybody who's a buyer for a store is trying to be an influencer because you want people to buy it.
Yeah,
so you
of course.
want to make sure you're finding stuff that you feel is going to resonate, and it's got to resonate with your local crowd.
Yeah, at least once a week we have someone coming in and says, "Oh, I'm an artist," and we're like, "Okay."
A lot of people will submit things.
Yeah, can you send Matt an email of your whatever?
It's
he's
not
the bad guy.
It's not specific. So the way I choose products for the gift store isn't necessarily something. It isn't about whether I like it or I don't like it. It's about whether it's going to sell too.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I think is great that it's not going to sell there.
Right.
I know the customer base now, and there's a lot of things that I would turn away that I personally like. So it's not that I don't like things that people submit. Some of them I don't, some of them I do. But I try to explain it to people if I don't want to carry their product in a way that it's because it's not going to sell.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the brand of the store. It's not
exactly
that it's good. It's just that there needs to be some sort of cohesion.
And even from what I do, like I've had people say that they would come on and then they would email me a list of things. They're like, you can only ask me these questions. And I'm like, well, you're not going to work. I'm not going to, because that's not the point of my show. We should be able to, rant and talk about whatever comes up. Not this is what my show's not like that. That's not the concept, So I 100% get that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, where can everybody find you? Like, especially for my followers that aren't from Kansas City.
So for the Bear Soap Company, the website is bearsoapcompany.com.
Is that the full word? It's not like abbreviated co or anything?
No.
Okay.
And on Instagram, it's Bear Soap Co.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the gift store, which is called Midcoast Modern, the website is Midcoast Modern KC, just the initials KC as in Kansas City.com.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, it's Midcoast KC.
Okay. I'll find all those links too and the websites, and I'll put them in the description for this episode as well. And
then the Bath and Body store where we actually produce all the Bear Soap products is called Soap Bar. So it's soapbarkc.com. And then on Instagram, it's soapbarkc. So.
Now, do you handle all those social medias too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
3 social medias, 3 email accounts, 3 websites, orders from all 3.
So now you know why he works so many hours.
Yes. That just sounds like a headache.
That's a long.
Well,
Like, I
some
guess
of it
if
is,
you're
but some
used
of
to
it's
it,
fun.
yeah. I guess if you're used to it too, it's.
Well, like, I don't work at like a 9 to 5. I'll just do it all day and night.
He
Yeah.
works.
So I can take a break, go eat, or whatever I want to do. But I just keep getting back to it.
Yeah, he works in an 11:05. Remember that one, Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah, the store hours, I thought, because so many people, myself included, would be like a 5-minute late kind of person. throughout
It's
all
funny
my-
because he said you actually have that on your door too,
I
right?
do.
11.
Because I thought it would be funny. Ironic, I'm not late now that I own a business, but I just thought it'd be kind of something interesting and different, and people look at it and they laugh. So
So it's 11:05 to 6-ish.
I like that.
that's very real. I like
Yeah.
that.
that was something that was a negative in my previous jobs that I could make into a positive.
Mhm.
Uh,
It's your business. You can
which
do whatever you
are-
want.
yeah, that's
Pretty
part
much.
of the deal.
Now, you guys are closed on Sundays, right?
No, we're closed on Mondays.
Mondays. I knew it was there was one day. Sorry.
Yeah. That's a pretty common day for small business to be closed in Midtown.
Yeah, Westport's like you can't find anything open.
Mhm.
So
Do you guys? So I don't know if I asked already. Matt, are you from Kansas City?
Yeah.
Your whole life.
Yeah. I moved away for a couple of years, but basically here.
And then Rick, you found your way here. It's a good city.
yeah,
It's a good opportunity. So
born and raised Orlando, moved to Northern California, then here. So
well, guys, it has been wonderful having you on tonight.
Yep.
Again, I do apologize for it being an hour and a half later. Well, almost, yeah, 2 hours
Well,
almost.
Congrats on your car.
Yeah, we got a Chevy Traverse.
Oh, nice.
She wanted the extra bench seat, so it's
Okay.
got the seats 8. It makes sense. So
Yeah,
we've
well,
been
you
trying
know.
for 2 weeks, and
Well.
it's just. And then you got your budget, your price range, and so they, the opportunity came up. So you're like, we gotta go do it, and I was like, I know it's gonna take forever. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful evening. And
All right,
thanks for having us
I
on.
will send. Oh, of course. And I'd love to have you on again, even if you want to do other topics. If you come out with new product and want to, advertise it, I will put all the links in here, and I will send you guys links to everything when it's all finalized as well. All right.
All right.
Cool.
All right. You guys
All right.
have a wonderful evening.
All right.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
See you, Dylan.
See you later.
See you, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.